Cannabis. Welcome, everyone. Cannabis News. I'm your host, Joe Klare. It's March 12th, 2020. The show, as always, is presented to you by the Marijuana Times. Find us at marijuanatimes.org. Click the video tab there to find the show. A ton of great articles there as well. Keep up with the cannabis community, industry, and beyond with the Marijuana Times. Today, we're talking about coronavirus and 420. Also, a new study about cannabis and its effects on fibromyalgia patients, and some updates, or an update rather, from Mississippi when it comes to medical marijuana. All of that is coming up. But first, of course, Cannabis News is brought to you by NatureSide, nature-side.com, and their organic, all-natural pesticides grow safe and poison-free with NatureSide. Awesome sponsor of the show, and what you need to use if you want to put harmful chemicals on what you are growing. Use NatureSide, nature-side.com, a proud sponsor of Cannabis News. Thank you, NatureSide, for your continued support and awesomeness. Notice that just now that I usually don't leave my thing on here, my little pop cover on my microphone, but today I did because that's how tired I am. So if I screw this up royally, well, have fun, because I'm not going to redo it. Well, I'll leave it all out there. I don't care. Leave it all out there. It's very raw, very gritty, brings character to, the performance, I guess. I don't know. Whatever it is I'm doing here, broadcasting. It's our story by yours truly at marijuanatimes.org. Coronavirus and 420. Basically, as you know, next month is April 20th, or April rather, of 2020. 420 for an entire month. I know a lot of you out there were excited about all the festivities and the gatherings and a month-long celebration of 420, and it was going to be awesome. And now, well, of course, with coronavirus and all of the large gatherings across the United States and around the world being canceled, social distancing, all of that, it's going to be a different experience, obviously. And it, it's disappointing, I'm sure, to some people, but, the next few months are just going to be hunker down and get through it type of situation. Take what precautions you can. Try to minimize your interaction with other people as much as you can. For some people, that's a great thing. That's what they've been waiting to hear all their life. Limit your interactions with other people. But it's reality is what it is. 420 is not going to be the same, and maybe cannabis won't be the same. Maybe the industry's taking a hit, and all kinds of things are going on, and things are going to be different in many aspects of society and life. But hopefully in a few months, we've gotten through the worst, and there's not a ton of new cases and all that stuff. The optimistic stuff that you hope for when it comes to something like this. But 420 itself is going to be known as the 420 that happened during the coronavirus, and there really weren't any celebrations at all, because you're not going to be passing joints and bongs and stuff with people. Obviously, there's other precautions you can take. If you do, use bongs and things like that, you can sanitize. And there's many things you can do. Take precautions, as I've said before, and I'll keep saying, I'm not here to tell you how much you should worry. You're going to worry as much as you're going to worry. But if you want to take precautions, that would probably be a good idea. This next story is from canx.co.uk. New study shows cannabis could help with fibromyalgia symptoms. This has been something a lot of medical marijuana patients have said over the years, that fibromyalgia, which of course is a condition characterized by prolonged pain, soreness, and fatigue. It affects around 10 million people in the U.S. alone. There's been a lot of anecdotal evidence and other studies as well showing cannabis's efficacy when it comes to fibromyalgia. This particular study, is from Luigi Sacco University Hospital in Milan, Italy. They recruited 102 fibromyalgia patients for their study into the efficacy of medical cannabis. The participants received 2 cannabis oils, 1 high THC and 1 balanced, and monitored for a period of 6 months. Results show significant clinical improvement in some of the symptoms of fibromyalgia. For example, 44% of patients reported a significant improvement in sleep quality, and fibromyalgia impact questionnaire revised scores improved in 33% of patients. In addition, patients also showed moderate improvements in anxiety, 42% of them, and depression, 50%. In relation to pain as a result of fibromyalgia, the study showed that 31 of the 66 participants reduced or ceased their other analgesic treatments. These are those 66 that stayed in the study for the entire 6-month period. That was 47%. I said it's not surprising to see research showing, as I said, it's been well known in the medical cannabis community for many years that especially certain strains will help with fibromyalgia symptoms. This last story is from Forbes.com. Mississippi lawmakers put competing medical marijuana measure on the ballot, frustrating advocates. Voters in Mississippi will see 2 separate medical marijuana items on the ballot when they go to their polling places in November. The state Senate voted on Thursday to approve a relatively restrictive cannabis question to compete with a more far-reaching one that activists qualified for the ballot by collecting more than 200,000 signatures from voters. Advocates believe that lawmakers who have passed up every opportunity to proactively vote to legalize medical marijuana over the years are seeking to undermine reform now that the issue is in voters' hands. Under the activist-driven initiative, there would be 22 qualifying conditions, including chronic pain, cancer, post-traumatic stress disorder, and patients will be allowed to possess up to 2.5 ounces of marijuana per 14-day period. The alternative resolution that cleared the Senate in a 34-17 vote has far less detail, although it does include restrictions such as a ban on smoking medical cannabis for patients who are not terminally ill. It's, in the popular vernacular, a D move. You know, a D I'm referring to. We've seen this before in states. One of that comes to mind is after the failure of Issue 3 in Ohio in 2015 and 2016, there was talk of a medical marijuana ballot initiative, and the legislature in Ohio undercut that pretty quickly and passed their own more restrictive initiative. It's a political ploy to deny people the choice of medical marijuana. It's very odd. It's very odd, especially at a time when you should think people would be more, or lawmakers would be more worried about health and more worried, frankly, about other things than somehow trying to screw over people who need medical marijuana. It's an odd choice. It's not a choice I would make. But hey, I'm not a state lawmaker. I don't have that prestigious post. I do host Cannabis News 5 days a week right here on the Marijuana Times. There's Marijuana Times on YouTube. Find us at marijuanatimes.org as well. Apple Podcasts for the audio version of the show. Thank you to Natureside, nature-side.com, and their organic, all-natural pesticides. Thanks to all of you for watching. Very low energy me do this episode. But hopefully I'm still informed and entertained a little bit, which is all I'm going for. Each episode is just a tiny bit of entertainment. Thanks, everybody, for spreading the truth about cannabis with this show. Please continue to do so, and we will see you next time right here on Cannabis News.